Hello, hello, and happy and amazing Monday fun day again. And we are back live with amazing Dina. And we just wanted to say hello to everyone who is coming and tuning in and sharing the space with us, and for anybody who is watching in the replay, because these conversations are super powerful and it's always great to have you with us. And if this is the first time you're just stopping by, hello and welcome to our world. My name is Irina Portnova, and I'm all about manifestation. How can we consciously connect to ourselves to be more intimate with ourselves and as well as with our partner? And I am here with our fabulous Dina Alexander, who just came back from her travel, and she is with us in the studio today. Dina, say something about yourself.
Hi, beautiful. It's fun day. It's Monday. As you know, I love it when I'm with you the Mondays. I am Dina Alexander and I live in Aruba. I am a life coach, relationship coach, and a sex coach. I do marry. If you've never heard about us and you've never seen me, I do believe in marrying sex with spirituality because we are more than animals. We are human beings, and we need to use that part of our brain, of ourselves, that energy, that sexual energy, to create what we want. But we need to learn.
And I love, look at our favorite person. Alice in the house. Hello,
Ah,
Ellen. Welcome. Happy Bunny Easter, he says. Yes, definitely. Happy, happy. And we are so inspired to see you with us and excited for this beautiful conversation that we are bringing on the table, because today we are talking about decide your standard and watch who rises. And I just wanted to open up this conversation saying that a lot of times we just minimize ourselves because we are trying to fit into somebody else's box. And we forget what is something important for us. How do we want to value ourselves? How we stand strong, not betraying ourselves. And that's exactly what this conversation is all about, because we do not want to minimize our standards. We actually keep our standards and see who is going to rise up. Dina.
I love it. I love this topic, Irina. You are at fire. So we are stepping into a truth that might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but deeply liberating. Okay? You don't attract better love by chance. That's all. You decide what you're no longer available for. And that's what we are going to talk about. Okay? Um, because many of us, many people are waiting for the right partner, the right whatever to appear, while still tolerating the same patterns, the same confusions, the same misalignment, and then wondering why nothing changes. So here's the shift. Standards aren't something you explain. They are something you embody. And maybe uh, at the moment it becomes clear, truly clear, everything begins to reorganize around you. People either rise up and meet you there or reveal that they can't. And today we are going to talk about the quiet power of deciding your standard in love from a place of self-respect, and that you no longer negotiate your boundaries. Okay. So before we begin into that juicy stuff, you want to say something?
Yeah, you know what? This is like very near and dear to me, especially, like what I was going through with my past, marriage in the last maybe, like 5 years or so. So it was very difficult to, just minimize myself, and just, like in order to save the relationship, in order to save that marriage. And it was interesting how just, not betraying ourselves and what we truly want is changing the reality for us. And also how important it is, because again, we want to be ready that not everybody is going to rise up to our standards. We are going to be ready to release people that are not there for us anymore, right? So this way we can attract somebody who is willing to do the work and who is willing to put the effort and who is there for us. Because again, just look at that. A lot of times people are settling, and a lot of people are settling. And
Yes.
for us not to settle is first to notice, am I truly happy in that relationship? And what happiness actually defines for me, because to each its own, right? Somebody might be happy when, like they just sleep in the same bed with the partner, but somebody wants the whole 9 yards like me. So again, to each its own. And it's all about like being honest with ourselves, because if we start betraying ourselves, sooner or later there will be that, like big burst when something has to be changed, because we are not going to tolerate that life that we no longer desire.
Yes, yes, yes. Three times yes, Irina. And I want to tackle immediately what you just said and make it clear. Because unclear standards, if you don't have, if you have unclear standards for yourself, that creates confusions and confusing connections. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's start here because I think that this is where it starts. Confusing connection don't come from bad luck. Some people think they have bad luck, but it's not because you are confused about your standards. You have unclear standards. When your standards are unclear, you accept mixed signals because you are afraid to talk about signals that we all get. Okay,
Mhm.
you tolerate inconsistency. You overanalyze behavior. You hope instead of decide. And that creates emotional fog. You're not sure where you stand. You're not sure what's happening. You're not sure what to do. And that is the truth. Clarity is not something the other person gives you. Clarity is something you create for yourself. And that has to be clear. When you know that you are available for, um, you don't need to decode behavior, you respond immediately to it. Because if anything is unclear, it needs to be clear for you to continue. That's how I see it.
Mhm.
So, do you agree or you want to add something to it, Irina?
Yeah, what comes to me is just again, before I started to do this work, I was also navigating more like with my inner knowing. But it's great when you have the guidance, right? And that's exactly what we are bringing to these conversation is more clarity, more, like really understanding how to deal with this situation. So what comes to me is basically to have the list of things that are non-negotiable, because otherwise it's so easy to betray ourselves and just kind of settle and think, okay, it's better to be with somebody than being alone, and this is like not such a great way of looking at life, right? So the ability to be alone is super super powerful, because in these times we understand more about ourselves, and we understand more what we require in the partnership, in the relationship. Again, if we do not allow ourselves to be on our own, we won't be able to receive that clarity, right? So it's very important to have that non-negotiable list, and actually talk to somebody you are dating, so they become clear that there are things that won't be tolerated. And actually, I think the hardest part is to stick to these rules, because, like once you put it out there, you gotta really live by that. Because if
Yes.
we forgive once, if we forgive another time, like it's only gonna be worse, not better.
Yes, totally with you. You just took it out of my head. I was just going to say that. Many people get stuck there. They say they want consistency, they want respect, they want honesty. However, their behavior says, I'll stay even when I don't get it. So
Mm-hmm.
standards are not what you say, they are what you enforce through your actions. Living your standards is what you just said. Looks like not chasing when someone pulls away, not over explaining your needs, not negotiating your boundaries, not staying where you feel misaligned. Yeah, this is this is the foundation of everything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
your energy communicates. This is what I'm available for, not less and not more than that. This, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the energy that you project teaches people how to treat you, and I will say it one more time, because you often hear, you what you communicate to people teaches them how to treat you. I am saying your energy that you project out there teaches people how to treat you, and I'm going to explain that. And everything, because of my explanation, is going to change everything. People don't learn how to treat you from your words, they learn from your tolerance. If you tolerate inconsistency, they continue being inconsistent. If you tolerate emotional distance, they stay distant. If you tolerate confusion, they don't clarify. And I want to clarify this. It's not because the person is bad, but because your energy is saying this is acceptable. The moment you
Mm-hmm.
shift that energy without drama, without explanation, the dynamic changes, because now your presence say this is no longer available here, and that creates immediate clarity. So L wrote a lot of things. Let me read it. True, to keep our standards to optimum highest, and not to bow down on what the partner or spouse demands or desires whenever they want it. Okay, I'm going to share with you, Al, something that I you chose for a relationship. Okay, and it's all about communication and agreements and loving, the way how you express your needs. And if you demand something, then you're not really in a relationship, you are in a kind of not democratic relationship. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think, Irina? I love it. Giovanni is also here with us.
Yeah,
Oh,
look
that's
at
nice.
that, Giovanni. Welcome. So yeah, I just wanted to address to what Al said. And it's true, like it's not about the demands, right? Again, nobody is in the relationship to demand. We only can ask and we can negotiate, right? So it feels like sometimes we can experience it as women, and it feels like sometimes men can also feel in that position, right? Again, it's not that's why we love this conversation, because you can be on the both sides of the like relationship. But the idea is just like literally be serious about what we are saying, because then if we are not really abiding by what we said we will, that person is going to constantly test our tolerance, right? and then it doesn't become the enjoyable relationship, then it becomes very heavy, and then it becomes more, like a roller coaster ride. And that's exactly what I am not tolerating. I'd rather be alone than be in the roller coaster. I do not, signed up for that.
Yes, that is how I would. That's a cherry on the cake. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's read what Giovanni said. Amen. Sometimes and often when we are evolving and growing, it's also letting go and walking away from mediocre social circles and even friends. Yeah, totally
Mm-hmm.
with you. Totally with you. That this is a shadow work that the majority of us has been through, losing people that has been with you in a long time, but you grow each other and be thankful and proceed.
Mm-hmm.
So let me continue. If you want to say something, Irina,
No,
before we
I'm
continue?
good. I totally agree. And Giovanni, it's great to have you with us. I love
Yes,
when guys participate. Mm-hmm.
yes, me too. So grateful. So I want to address why the right people rise and not resist. Okay, um, let's address the fear. Many people think if I hold my standard, I lose people. That's why they don't communicate. Okay, yes, you will lose people who were you will lose people who were benefiting from your lack of standards. That's
Mm-hmm.
the people that you will lose. But the right people, they would not feel threatened by clarity. They'll
Mm-hmm.
feel relieved by it, because healthy people want direction, honesty, emotional maturity, and alignment. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to guess. They don't want to chase. They want to meet you clearly. And when your standards are embodied, the right people rise naturally. No forcing required. And this is I think the key to all of this. Okay? So what comes up? Tell me.
Well, what comes up, I'm very grateful to Bruno because he is constantly rising to my standards. And again, um, do I know that he is going to be ready for these challenges? No, I don't. But I just keep my standards and I see, right? Because again, you want to be with the partner who really hears you, who understands you, and who is willing to do whatever it takes, right? So the idea is, like he can be upset, he can be like sometimes, like very emotional about it, but then again, if the person truly loves you, they understand and they are willing to work on it. It comes from both sides, right? So the idea is that two people in the relationship are willing to grow and to evolve and to work, because that's the whole point of the relationship. It's not just having somebody you can, like be intimate with, but actually connecting on all levels: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, right? So that's
Yes.
exactly the connection that makes us full and complete and unique. And again, if we claim our standards and if people feel that we are too much, they're just not enough for us. That's it.
Yes. I want to share some practical tips because the time flies. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let's ground this all. All what we've talked about, let's ground it. Here's how we begin: embodying your standards. Okay, get honest about what you don't no longer are available for. Okay, and if you need to write it down, journaling is perfect. Notice where you're still tolerating what you say you don't want. Okay, so practice responding instead of reacting, and let actions speak louder than explanations. Trust that clarity will filter people, and that's a good thing. Okay, standards are not rigid, they are aligned boundaries rooted in self respect. Okay, So let's embody a couple of minutes, okay? Let's take a pause. Let's place one hand on your heart and the other one on your belly and breathe so slowly. If you want to close your eyes, please do. And ask yourself, where am I still available for less than I desire? And let the answer come. Now, ask yourself, what would it feel like to no longer negotiate that? And feel it. Feel how that would feel in your body. And that feeling is your next level. So if you felt your feeling, you can open up your eyes and write below in the below caption what you felt. And if you want to do it one more time or get more tools, please connect with me and I'll provide that. Okay? So I saw you closed your eyes. You want to
Yeah,
share
it
something?
was good. What comes to me is being more in observing state rather than demanding state. And the way it works for me, you just claim what you are, what you would love to have in the relationship, and allow the person to meet you or to rise up, right? So again, it's not about demanding, it's not about threatening, it's about observing. The more we learn to stay neutral and not involved in everything what's going on, and you'll see that the universe actually sort people out on your path, and you'll see who are the people that meant to be with you and who are the people that do not anymore vibrate on the same state. As Giovanni was saying, that why do people fall off from our life? It's because we are rising our frequency and we are moving into a different reality, and they with their energy cannot be there because it becomes too intense for them, and they cannot, their nervous system might not be able to accommodate them. But the more we realize that, the more we understand it's just for us to observe and to be honest with ourselves and be more in harmony with ourselves. Because when we are given some permissions to ourselves, that's exactly where we can continue standing by our standards, and that's when we continue to attract and the partner who is willing to meet us where we want to be.
Perfectly said. Love it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So closing, it's an invitation. Okay? You, if you're listening to us, you decide what you're no longer available for. And I'm going to Al and Giovanni because they are with us. Giovanni says, "Love that, aligned boundaries."
Mhm.
Yes, Giovanni, that's the best way to be in a relationship. Okay, you for to keep this up, this aligned boundaries, you should have very good communication between you and your partner.
Mhm.
L says compromise aligned boundaries. Oh, that can happen also, but it's all about, I do believe you need to communicate. You need to master the art of communication in a relationship.
Mhm.
Okay, and there are so many tools and to do this. If you can master the art of communication, you'll be good. You'll have a good relationship. Okay. If this
Mhm.
conversation resonated with you and you're listening to us, if you're ready to stop repeating patterns and start embodying standards that actually support the love you desire and deserve, contact me.
Or me. We
Or
are both
yes, or
available.
Irina.
Yes.
I'm
We
sorry.
are both available. So whoever resonates with you, if you have any questions or if you want to share this episode, you feel like somebody can benefit from that, definitely just share it and let's all grow together. Because as Dina, you mentioned about communication, right? There is no such a thing as mastery. We are still learning how to do it better, right? But we are just moving from one level to another level, right? So we are still also navigating and learning, but we enjoy the process because the more aware we are, the better relationships we can experience for ourselves, and the more we can actually teach our clients. So again, continue holding your standards no matter how hard it is. Trust me, you are going to attract the person who is willing to meet you where you want to be, as long as you are not going to tolerate everything what doesn't serve you. All right. Thank you so much, Dina. It was beautiful. Thanks so much, Al. Thanks so much, Giovanni, and everybody who stopped by to watch this beautiful episode. Reach out to us, comment, share, and we'll see you on the next episode next Monday. Have a good one. Bye.